Hello, MissDeadlyRed here, and today I'm going to be talking about the makeup I use on a daily basis on my face, pretty much. I apologise for not doing last week's video. It's purely because I was away with my boyfriend meeting his family. So I kind of spent all of last weekend in Essex, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, I'm really sorry that I didn't get last week's video out. It's purely I had no reception. So well, let's crack on. The first, mostly asked questions I've answered in a couple of other videos briefly, but I'll go through my full kind of routine. I've been asked before, what products do you use on your skin? As in my foundation, that is Max Factor Fair, just 100, and that's the lasting performance. It's easy to get hold of. You can get it in Boots, Superdrug, pretty much anywhere that sells Max Factor makeup. It's it's one of their staple products, and so it's not one of those really annoying ones to get hold of because it's been around for so long. I sometimes use that on its own if I just want like a lighter kind of quite fresh look, because it's not particularly heavy, and then if something I want a bit more coverage, then I'll mix it with the Besame Bisque Soufflé foundation, and that gives a more perfect kind of porcelain look, which I use for shoots, which is perfect. Also for my cheeks, I tend to just keep it quite simple with a peach Kryolan blusher. A lot of people don't think I actually use blusher. I do on a daily basis. I put more on for shoots and things, but I do actually use blusher on a daily basis. It's just purely in photos. It doesn't necessarily show up because obviously your skin always seems like a little bit more light in photos. I don't know why, but for some reason it looks like I haven't got blusher on, and I do. I promise. But I only use literally the tiniest amount because I don't like to kind of overdo it and keep it quite natural looking on my skin. And that's just Kryolan. It's just a peach one. It's actually an eyeshadow. But it's, as you can tell, it's pretty dog-eared because the other two that were in there, which was a red and like a really bright pink, have both fallen out. So it's pretty bad. It's the only one that stayed in. I'm quite proud of that. But any kind of peach foundation is pretty easy to get hold of. But that one is particularly good for me because it's matte, and I find that shiny, well, glitter-based blushes just tend to make me look a little bit kind of like this. So it's quite good for me. With regards to powder, it's pretty bad, but I just use Johnson's baby powder because I like the smell of it. That's pretty much it. I use it with a soft wide brush, basically, and I dab it on as opposed to brushing it on, because I find that it just kind of ruins the rest of my foundation. It's not the same with everyone, but it's just for me particularly, it doesn't sit on my skin as nicely unless I powder it, like press it on. And I wouldn't use that on my kit normally because, like some of you know, that I am a makeup artist as well. A lot of the products I use on a personal basis I won't use on clients because a lot of people would think, oh my god, she's using baby powder on me, that's so cheap. So I would use something like Kryolan, the translucent powders they do, which, because they go on really lovely and they are so fine, and so they don't kind of give any kind of pigment to the skin because they are just literally a normal trans powder. The only reason I use baby powder as well is because I find that I haven't been able to find a compact that's easy to get hold of and not ridiculously expensive, because I use so much of it, that's actually light enough. So I just use baby powder because it's cheap, it's cheerful, and it's just going to be used on me, and it seems to keep my skin pretty good. And I'm not allergic to it. I'm allergic to it like everything when it comes to makeup, so because I'm super sensitive, so I have to be really careful. With regards to eyeliner, I know that I've answered this briefly in the past, but sometimes I use the Urban Decay 14 Hour, which is super easy to get hold of. You can either order it online, or you can order it, or you can get it from Debenhams, because they have like a little makeup section, and that's really good. But I tend to use, because it's cheaper and I find that it's easier to get hold of, a Miss Sporty one. The only reason I started using this is because it has the same nib as the Urban Decay one, because it's like that. and I like having a really, because I don't like the felt kind of felt tip nibs, because I find that they're never thin enough, and so I find that really frustrating. And also I've tried so many different eyeliners, and I used to use that when I was younger, and I've never had any problems with it. And because it's a waterproof one, it says that it's 24-hour. It's not, because it is a cheaper brand, but it still works really, really well. I find that it stays on for the whole day, and I don't have any problems with it. With regards to mascara, I use loads of different mascaras. Actually, I never have to worry about buying a certain mascara, because it works for my eyelashes, and it's the only one that gives them length, sort of thing. At the moment, I'm just using a Revlon Grow Luscious one, and I find this actually goes on really well, because I don't need to use too much of it, and so I don't feel too heavy without my eyelashes looking quite long. Because my eyelashes are quite short anyway, I don't like the volumized ones, because I find that they just make my eyes look like I'm really clumpy, and I hate that look, because I just think it looks really kind of overdone, because I have quite small eyes, but I can handle a lot of makeup. With my eyelashes, I find that if they're quite clumped up, then it just kind of makes my eyes look like this. So it's not flattering. I know that it suits some people, but just not personally for me. With regards to lipstick, I get that quite a lot. Everyone thinks that I just use Besame. I don't. I use a variety of different brands, depending on the colour and depending on what I'm looking for. I find that when I'm going to visit my boyfriend, because I've actually been asked this, how do I keep my lipstick looking perfect whilst I'm with my boyfriend, because of obviously kissing and things, and he's got a big beard, so that would be quite hard. It literally just spreads it across my face. So pretty. I actually use one that I was recommended to by one of my best friends, and that is a Maybelline one, and it's the Super Stay 24-hour colour. At the moment I'm using Red Passion, and it's 510, and that one, it works really well. All you need to do is put on it. You do have to be careful with how you put it on though, because it's a kind of a nightmare to get rid of if you kind of do a mistake, so you have to be careful when you're doing it. You can't do the quick kind of train thing, just trying to put it on quickly on the train. It's not like you can get rid of it particularly easily. And then afterwards you put on the balm that's that goes with it, and it is a glossy lipstick. It's not matte. It might go matte after about 6-7 hours, but that's because the gloss is kind of absorbed into your lips, and then you just kind of reapply the gloss. If you keep it as matte, it tends to make your lips stick together a little bit, and I find that I love that I had to press my lips together to realise that. But the one that I'm wearing at the moment is actually Red Hot Red by Besame, and I have it in a little pro palette, because I find it easier for doing other people's makeup, because this is one of the ones that I use in my kit as well, and so I love the pro palettes, but I love the lipstick tubes as well, because they are gold, and so you can get them as individuals. You don't have to buy it as a pro palette. It's super easy to get hold of. There is a stockist in the UK, but there isn't a direct store, so you will have to buy it online, because the only store is in Burbank, unfortunately. Meh. Apart from those who are in Burbank, and then it's fine. The stuff I use on my eyebrows, again, I've spoken about it in a previous video, but I find that it's, might as well say it again. I literally just use Rich Brown Rimmel, which is, again, super easy to get hold of. It's only a couple of quid. I sharpen it regularly, because I find that that's the only way that I can get the proper point on my eyebrows. And I use a palette called Mag Pro over the top of it. I found 3 browns that work for me. One that's a Kryolan one, which is just their kind of staple brown. It's pretty easy to get hold of. It's not like it's a charcoal brown or like a warm brown or anything. It's literally just brown. It's kind of annoying that it hasn't got a specific name, but just brown. It's the same with the Mag Pro actually. I find that if you put it over the Rimmel, then it's fine, because it's got the warmth of, because it is a rich brown, it's got the warmth of the rich brown, and also because my eyebrows are slightly gingery anyway, when it mixes with my ginger brows, it goes a more reddy colour, so it works quite well. But my palette looks a bit sad because it is a bit dog-eared. But that is this brown, just for a sec, not the green. That would look weird. But this is Mag Pro, not MAC, not to be confused. It's MAQPRO. which is a French brand, and you can get it online, super easy to get hold of. With regards to some of the other lipsticks I use, I sometimes use Clinique for the simpler kind of looks, and I literally just use Super Strawberry 7, and that's a chubby stick, and that's when I'm trying to make my lips look quite natural, because I don't tend to do that because I've got a scar on my lip and I don't like that pretty much. Apart from that, I think that's most of the makeup I wear. Like, I use different eyeshadows and things, but I would, if I posted a picture of it, I would put what products I'm using, or I'll put them on request depending on, like, if I've done that look before, and so people kind of know the products normally. So feel free to ask me whenever you want. When I want to kind of keep my makeup on for a length of time, I tend to use, I don't have it on me at the moment because I have no idea where it is, but an Urban Decay eye potion, which is it basically stops your makeup from folding and it keeps it on, and so whenever you're going out and you're like in a quite hot environment, like if you're going clubbing or something, it's perfect. I don't tend to use it on a daily basis because it can be a bit of a nightmare to get rid of, and so you have to use an oil based makeup remover to get rid of it, like much like the Clinique ones that you can get. They're really, really easy to get hold of and they're not too expensive. I've got a couple of samples because I find that they're nicer as a travel size. But that can get rid of them no problem. But if you just have, say, like baby wipes or just soap, then it won't get rid of it particularly easily. But yeah, it's really, really great. And it comes in like a purple tube, and so it's pretty easy to see, and it's a pretty purple tube. That's another one by Urban Decay that's good. If you have any other questions about any of the other makeup I use, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy, or any of the brushes that I use, because I do use a variety of different brands. Again, feel free to ask. I hope that this video was helpful in some way, and hopefully I'll be able to get out my tutorial about my eyebrows and my fringe sometime soon. It's just purely being able to shoot them in the right way, because I don't want to do it in the manner that I've been doing it at the moment, where it's like a fixed camera, because I think it would be too hard to be able to get anything educational from it, because you wouldn't be able to see it because I'd be half in the mirror. So it's probably not that great. But yeah, I've been MissDeadlyRed and still am. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye!